You're watching Truth versus Hype. So far, the ISIS threat in India has not been taken very seriously, mainly because of the minuscule numbers of Indian Muslims who are actually engaged with the Islamic State. But the arrest last week of 14 men in a nationwide sweep accused of having IS links and of plotting attacks across India has raised the question, does India now finally have its own ISIS franchise?
This week, Truth versus Hype examines these arrests in great detail to test both the claims made by the investigators as well as by the family and the neighbors of these men. To ask the question, was this a genuine terror plot as is alleged? And also, what does it mean for ISIS being a serious threat to India? And also on the ground, what does it mean for attempts to counsel these young men rather than crack down with the law?
14 men arrested from Mumbai, Hyderabad, Uttar Pradesh, Karnataka. Software engineers, tile shop salesmen, goldsmiths, Arabic teachers. The accusation, they were linked to ISIS to stage ISIS-style attacks in India.
During the course of investigation, credible information was received that a few individuals have formed themselves into a group, and they are in the process of planning and preparing to execute terrorist attack in few places in the country.
Ajay Sani, now with ISIS in India, we've had over the past year several people being sent back, deported, trying to get into ISIS territory. Some of them have been arrested, others have been let off after some counseling. What's different about this lot of arrests?
You see, there is both a shift and a continuity over here. First of all, these individuals appear to have been radicalized individually. They were seeking opportunities to get through to the ISIS. This has been very well exploited with a attempt being made by one individual who is most likely in Pakistan, but possibly may have moved to Syria by now.
Now, what is the proof? If you go by what we have officially on the record, it is what is known as the remand statement made before the court, which is, as such statements tend to be exceedingly general. Except remember that these are very serious charges. The accused have disclosed many facts, it says, about their involvement in this case about recruiting and financing persons willing to join ISIS. They were found to be in communication with some members through chatting applications, and that the identity and role of such associations is being ascertained. Praveen Swami, I know remand applications are supposed to be general, they're very preliminary, but this one doesn't even mention the fact that this group was plotting to carry out attacks.
Well, the prosecution don't actually have to show that at this stage. They're investigating a case, and it is unclear if any of the men were involved, to what degree they were involved, and whether they were actually in the midst of a plot.
In conversations this week with officials of different wings of India's security apparatus, we were told that there is in fact substantial proof in the form of phone conversations and transcripts of chats, as well as the statements made by these men, but that it's too early to make this public. Now, of course, this is a debatable argument, and it is in fact being fiercely contested, and we'll come to that a little later on. But first, here's the official version of what they claim to have found. From their surveillance, agencies claim that unlike in the past, where individuals on social media might have made isolated attempts to travel to Syria, this time multiple individuals were tied together by a common thread.
That common thread, they claim, is Shafi Armar, also known as Yusuf al-Hindi, from Bhatkal in coastal Karnataka.
Shafi is believed to have taken over from his brother Sultan.
Sultan Armar's been on, if you like, the jihadi landscape in India for quite some time. He'd been a figure in the Indian Mujahideen's networks and was one of the very few people within those networks with, if you like, a clerical education, a religious education, and was part of a breakaway faction within the Indian Mujahideen which had linked itself to the IS. He's believed to have been killed last year fighting alongside the Islamic State.
Egged by Armar, investigators say meetings held across the country, from Lucknow and Saharanpur in the north to Bangalore, Tumkur and Hyderabad in the south. A hierarchy was taking shape at these meetings, modelled on ISIS and sharing its nomenclature, with the Amir being Mudabbir Mushtaq Sheikh from Mumbai, the Naib Amir, or the second in command, Rizwan Ahmed from Kushinagar in Uttar Pradesh,
the Amir-e-Askari, or the military operations head, Najmul Huda from Mangalore, and the financial head, or the Amir-e-Maliyati, Muhammad Nafiz Khan from Hyderabad. They even apparently had a name, Janood-ul Khalifa-e-Hind, or the Army of the Caliphate of India. Now investigators say they finally had to carry out the arrests when the exchanges between Armar and these men went from being more general to more direct exhortations to carry out attacks. Now what exactly these exchanges were, they were not willing to share with us. But they said the most concrete proof that something was afoot was evident in all the material that was seized from these men. This included 45 mobiles, 29 SIMs, 9 laptops, and 3 hard drives and pen drives each.
Now, whether that in itself amounts to proof of a terror strike is debatable, which is why investigators are making much of the seizures of low-grade explosives from the homes of Mudabbir Sheikh and Nafiz Khan. Now, what were these seizures? They were firecrackers and matchboxes from which to extract sulfur, but also bomb-making materials, they claim, like alarm clocks, wires, and even lead pipes.
उसका कोई सबूत अब तक तो वो हार्ड कॉपी में या कभी कुछ भी अभी तक उन्होंने नहीं दिया है. उन्होंने कहा है कि हम अभी जमा रहे हैं.
So it's obviously important to get a sense of the veracity of the claims being made by the security agencies, but we couldn't, of course, cover all the 14 men.
But we did travel to and get the details of at least those who have been described as the main accused.
In Mumra, the Mumbai suburb home to Mudabbir Sheikh, described as the ringleader of ISIS's India wing, a march against extremism. Mumra is no stranger to its residents being picked up on charges of extremism, and normally the streets would have erupted in protest against the police. Not this time.
आज इस प्रोग्राम का मकसद ISIS के खिलाफ लोगों में अवेयरनेस पैदा करना, बेदारी पैदा करना. ISIS एक दहशतगर्द तहरीक है जो इंसानों की कातिल है, इंसानियत की कातिल है. उस तहरीक के खिलाफ लोगों में बेदारी पैदा करना.
The reasons might be linked to this interview in a newspaper given by Mudabbir's wife, in which she claimed he turned inwards as he came under the influence of ISIS. This was a surprise given that Mudabbir was until recently working as a software developer with a company in the Mumbai suburb of Goregaon. Later on camera, his wife was less emphatic.
वो लोग ऐसा बोल रहे कि हम लोग जो भी है इस्लामिक जो ग्रुप बन रहा है उसके सिलसिले में हम लोग लेके आ रहे हैं. बोले मेरे को तो कुछ मालूम नहीं क्या है. तो मैं बोली क्या है, तो बोले इन्वेस्टिगेशन होने तो उसका आपको बताएंगे. वो ऐसे आदमी है भी नहीं वैसा आदमी. वो आप यहाँ पे किसी को पूछेंगे तो आपको सीधे ही आदमी बताएंगे.
Investigators, however, told us that in their conversations with Mudabbir, he came across as clearly radicalized, stating that the group's goals were the imposition of Sharia or Islamic law across India, and also a determination to oppose anyone who did not agree.
Toli Chowki in Hyderabad's northern edge, the Al-Karimi colony, home to Muhammad Nafiz, described as the financier of the group. His landlady, who refused to come on camera, showed us the room he would stay in and from where he was arrested.
ये रूम था. Okay. अभी बंद है. अभी अंदर क्या है?
कोई सामान नहीं, वो सब
सामान लेके चले गए. सब सामान लेके चले गए. कौन? पुलिस वाले. हाँ, पुलिस.
Nafiz is said to have family in Bombay, she said, but who they are exactly is unclear.
बातचीत लैंग्वेज बहुत अच्छा था.
उनके कोई माता पिता थे?
जी उनके बम्बई में कौन कौन है वो पक्का मेरे को इन्फॉर्मेशन सही नहीं दिया था. बम्बई में उसके भाई रहते, बाप रहता. वो मदरसे में पला बड़ा बोले.
मदरसे में बड़ा हुआ वो?
हाँ जी.
उसके भाई और बाप बॉम्बे में रहते हैं?
जी हाँ. 4 साल का बच्चा था जब अम्मा का इंतकाल हो गया था. वो ऑटो चलाता था पहले इधर आके हैदराबाद.
अच्छा, ऑटो चलाता था.
जी.
ओ ऐसी. और यहाँ कोई टाइल की दुकान में काम करता था?
जी हाँ. डोम्स रोड के पास टाइल्स दुकान है.
So once again the contrast there with Nafiz's landlady telling us that he was a very quiet boy, no such indication of any deviant behavior, but investigators telling us that he is more or less admitted to them that not only had he downloaded a link on how to make an explosive device, he had actually moved closer towards making one. Grief and disbelief chokes the voice of Saiful Huda, the father of Najmul Huda, the young man from Mangalore described as the group's military commander.
नजमुल जो है घर में थे कि 6-7 महीने से. उससे पहले जो है वो आर्मी कॉलेज में पढ़ रहे थे और वो जो है रमज़ान से इधर थे, घर में थे। बीच में जो एक बार जब बेंगलोर गए थे, कोई शादी थी, क्या मामला था, बस 1, 2, 3, 4 दिन में आ गए थे वो। पढ़ाई जो है पढ़ाई उन्होंने जो आरवी कॉलेज में जो है वो केमिकल इंजीनियरिंग कर रहे थे। मैं उन लोगों से कहा कि अगर आप लोग 6 महीने से पीछा कर रहे थे, मुझे एक इशारा दिए होते, मेरा घर लूट गया, मैं बर्बाद हो गया, गरीब आदमी, मैं कैसे कैसे साइकिल चला के ट्यूशन करके मैं जो है कहाँ से आके यहाँ पे जो है एक मेरी इज्जत बनी हुई थी। सारे जो है यहाँ गाँव के लोग, चाहे हिंदू हो, मुस्लिम हो, क्रिश्चियन हो, सब इज्जत करते थे। आज मैं 1 हफ्ते से जो घर से बाहर नहीं गया हूँ, तो ये कौन सी चीज़ है कि वो जो है पीछा कर रहे थे और जो उसको जो अच्छा बनाने की बात कर रहे थे, और आज जो है मेरी सारी सब कुछ लूट गया। ये कौन सी चीज़ है वो?
At the offices of the Association for the Protection of Civil Rights in Bangalore, there is an edge. Of the arrests, Karnataka has the most, 6 in all. Here we meet the family of Sohail Ahmed and the father of Asif Ali, who doesn't want to appear on camera. The 2 young men bound by their work, setting stones, and by their devout nature.
मदरसा पढ़ाता था, अरबी टीचर था, और दूसरा वो सोने पे जो स्टोन बनाते हैं, जैसे आर्टिफिशियल का, उसको पॉलिश करता था। स्टोन पॉलिश का काम करता था।
सिर्फ मदरसा, घर, उसका काम और कुछ नहीं था उसके पास। एकदम नॉर्मल छोकरा था, कभी उसके मुंह से कभी भी गलत बात नहीं निकला।
आप क्या काम करते हैं?
टीवी रिपेयर करता हूँ, इलेक्ट्रिशियन काम।
अच्छा, दुकान है?
वॉशिंग मशीन ऐसा रिपेयर करना।
और आसिफ क्या करता था?
वो इसका स्टोन पॉलिश करता था।
स्टोन पॉलिश?
ऐसा एक पत्थर का, ऐसे भी।
अच्छा, जो ये उसमें अंगूठी
डालने का, ऐसा करने का। और बाद होटल में काम करता था थोड़ा टाइम में।
क्या चीज़, क्या काम करता था?
ये ऐसे भी डिलीवरी करने का, फूड डिपार्टमेंट में थोड़ा दिन काम करता था।
उसने कभी ये आईसिस जो उसके वेबसाइट्स हैं, जो
कुछ नहीं है, कुछ नहीं
है,
उसको बचपन से लेकर 20-22 साल की उम्र तक उसे सिर्फ उर्दू ही पढ़ाया गया है, मतलब और कुछ वो इंग्लिश पढ़ के ही नहीं है। लैपटॉप और कुछ यूज करने के लिए
छोटा फोन था लिनोवा का उसके पास।
तो जब ये इसकी जो गिरफ्तारी हुई, जो इनका कहना है कि इसका कुछ आईसिस से ताल्लुकात था या कुछ आईसिस में इंटरेस्टेड था, उनके वेबसाइट वगैरह देखता था, ऐसा कुछ था?
नहीं, उसका कुछ ऐसा आदत नहीं था,
बिल्कुल भी नहीं।
नहीं सर, क्यों बुक्स अभी पढ़ेगा वो इसका बारे में सब किताब आता है ना, वो मद्रास में मिलता है, वो लेके आएगा।
कैसे बुक्स?
वो स्टोरी है।
अच्छा, ये
अफगान का बारे में कैसा है, वो सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम कैसा था, अबू बकर अली कैसा है, वो सब स्टोरी बुक था।
एक इंजीनियर।
The two, however, shared another common link. They were both admirers of the firebrand cleric Maulana Anzar Shah Kazmi. Kazmi, who was based in Bangalore, has had several brushes with the law for hate speeches. He was arrested by Delhi Police's special cell, allegedly for his links to Al-Qaeda's India wing.
मैं आपसे पूछ रहा हूँ कि सोहेल उनको जानते थे, उनके
बयान सुनने के लिए जाता था वो।
जाते थे?
क्या बयान सुनने वाला, हर एक बयान सुनने वाला दहशतगर्द है। जब हम हमारे मजहब के बारे में नहीं सुनेंगे तो क्या गैर मजहब के बारे में सुनने जाएंगे? क्या हर बयान सुनने वाला दहशतगर्द है क्या सर?
लेकिन वो कह रहे थे कि ये जो मौलाना काज़मी है, इनकी ये बातों को काफी सुनता था, मानता था।
हाँ, मगर वो बयान जाता था ना, वही फ्राइडे जाता था, उतना ही। मैं बोला ऐसा, वो बोला क्या मालूम है, आदमी लोग बयान सभी, हर एक घर पे सीढ़ी है ना उनका, मैसूर में, तुमकुर में, बेंगलुरु में कितना 90, 60, 70% सीढ़ी है उनका। उनका बयान अच्छा मैं अभी तक नहीं सुना उनका, मगर बयान अच्छा है, बहुत सिंपल आदमी है, किसी को तकलीफ नहीं देते, जो है हकीकत बोलते हैं।
The speeches aren't as benign as made out.
अब ये साफ दिखाई दे जा रहा है कि दिल्ली की पार्लियामेंट का रिमोट कंट्रोल नागपुर के उस तंजीम पर है जिस तंजीम की बुनियाद इस्लाम मुसलमानों के तशक्कुस को खत्म करने के लिए रखी गई।
बैंगलोर कमिश्नर का भी एक स्टेटमेंट आया, उनके हजारों रिकॉर्डेड स्पीच हैं। कर्नाटका पुलिस कमिश्नर की बात है कि हजारों स्पीच हमारे पास हैं, रिकॉर्डेड हैं
जी,
लेकिन इसमें कभी भी एंटी नेशनल, एंटी ह्यूमैनिटी बात हम लोग नहीं मिली है उनको।
अच्छा,
बैंगलोर कमिश्नर को नहीं मिली लेकिन एनआईए वालों को मिल गई।
Now on this question of Maulana Kazmi, is there an anomaly here? Because on one hand, it's being said that these men in Bangalore were arrested because of the fact that they were very close to him. But remember, he's being accused of having links to Al-Qaeda, not ISIS.
No, first of all, understand ISIS itself is an Al-Qaeda breakaway. Second, understand that the recruiter, Armar, is the head of this organization called Ansarul Tawheed fi Bilal al-Hind. Now, this group was originally affiliated with Al-Qaeda and has now shifted affiliation to ISIS. The broad ideological base is the same.
नहीं, वो involved नहीं है. ये only government और उनके agencies और right wings इनको involve करा रही है बस.
While concrete guilt is yet to be established, claims of sweeping innocence may be imprudent. Missing from the APCR's roster is Abdul Ahad, also arrested. He worked for a tech multinational IHS Global and was deported from Turkey in January last year for trying to cross into Syria with his entire family. Coming up, to arrest or to counsel, the dilemma before India in fighting ISIS. Welcome back. The mass arrests of those accused of being ISIS sympathizers might seem like an escalation of strategy by the government, but sources within the government telling us that even then they're not too worried.
Officials told us that despite the discovery of the plot last week, there's no rethink in their strategy to counsel first and then only to enforce the law.
Near these abandoned monuments in Hyderabad's Baba Nagar area, we meet two young men who together made a failed attempt to travel to Syria in 2014. Neither arrested, instead both put through counselling. No better illustration of the tightrope walk involved for authorities.
Usually, like everyone, I have this habit of social networking, the so-called Facebook. So in there I got in touch with some people who tried to gain sympathy for Muslims.
Okay.
And the reason is they showed some videos or pictures of atrocities and crimes committed by the Western terrorists and Israeli terrorists upon people of Gaza, people of Palestine, and what's happening in Syria, like what's committed by Bashar al-Assad.
When you say Western terrorists, what does that mean exactly?
Western terrorist means terrorists like Obama and his country and his army, who are terrorizing, invading and terrorizing the Muslims in their homes in the Middle East.
मैं IT फील्ड में हूँ.
अच्छा.
इंजीनियरिंग कंप्लीट हो गया.
क्या चीज़ था जिससे आप अट्रैक्ट हुए?
उसमें इन लोगों जो है रिवेंज लेने के उसमें.
कौन लोग?
आइसिस.
हाँ.
रिवेंज लेने के उसमें आए गए वो लोग. ऐसा पूरे दुनिया में मुसलमानों को मार रहे हैं, कर रहे हैं बल्कि उन लोगों का रिवेंज लेने के लिए आए गए.
So who were you in touch with specifically?
There was a person named Muhammad Ibn al-Bara.
Okay.
He was a aid worker, humanitarian aid worker from Australia.
He was based in, I mean, he was an Australian.
He was born and brought up in Australia. Yes, Australian national. But he travelled to Turkey and Syria.
कौन था वो?
एक बंदा था गुजरात का.
गुजरात का?
जी.
क्या नाम या
उसका नाम बार बार चेंज होते रहता था. मेरे को लास्ट जो मालूम है वो हफीओ अहमद.
यस. अच्छा. और what was he, क्या करता था, कुछ उसका आइडिया?
वो पोस्टिंग करता था. every 2 minutes, every 5 minutes की उन्हें अपडेट देता था बच्चा.
अभी भी है वो फेसबुक?
नहीं मालूम.
अब नहीं मालूम.
I was stopped before I could board a plane. I was supposed to board plane like on 29th of August. I didn't even book a ticket though.
Okay. Where were you planning to leave from?
I was going to Delhi, and from there I would have travelled to Turkey.
To Turkey?
Istanbul.
And then was he planning to meet you there, or how would the contact have been made? Had he given you some contacts?
Yes, he didn't give me any contact, but he explained what to do. First you need to go reach Istanbul and use your passport to purchase a Turkcell SIM and a mobile phone chip. And through that phone you you need to take a hotel, cheap hotel but with Wi-Fi.
Okay.
From there you have to contact again on social network using Wi-Fi to him. Then he will guide from there.
So how do you feel about all this now? You still feel, I mean, are you convinced that what you did was wrong, or do you still feel that you may want to go back?
No. I wouldn't go back now. That was wrong, the step. I individually couldn't have done anything, or from person from here going there.
पुलिस ने काउंसलिंग की मेरी.
क्या कहा उन्होंने?
कि वो पूरा गलत है, तुम गलत डायरेक्शन में जा रहे थे, यहाँ मेरे को एक सर बोले तुम जो है तुम्हारे पेरेंट्स की खिदमत करो वहाँ जाके तुम लड़के स्ट्रगल करके तुम जन्नत देख रहे हैं, यहाँ तुम पेरेंट्स की खिदमत करो, यहाँ तुम्हारी जन्नत मिल जाती। वो एक नॉन मुस्लिम सर थे, उन्होंने बोले मेरे को ये बात। तो ऐसी काउंसलिंग करें, बहुत
आपको ठीक लगा?
बिल्कुल।
अब आपको कोई उन चीजों में इंटरेस्ट है?
1% भी नहीं है।
So you still feel that people like Obama are terrorists?
Yes, a sane person with humanity in his heart will think the same.
Now there was a third member of Zahid and Muahid's group, a young man called Abdullah Basit, who also tried to make an attempt with Muawid to leave in 2014 and was stopped. But despite being put through weeks and weeks of intense counseling, as recently as in November last year, he made yet another attempt to go to Syria and join ISIS. This time around, he was arrested.
Reality is that the motivations that draw or have drawn some young people to the Islamic State are a very complex mix of the religious, of the political, and of the adventure-seeking tendencies of young people, to social maladaptation. And I'm not sure religious counseling of the kind some police forces are experimenting with is in fact persuasive.
If there is any solace, the aftermath of the Paris attacks has seen a dent in the deluge of Islamic State propaganda.
I mean, they're still very prolific when it comes to media, but their media output has reduced a lot. I think because of some of their operations are being disrupted, especially in Iraq and Syria.
Which is not to say that India should rest